If we go around with a smile on our face, if we go into our schools and to our jobs with a smile on our face, thanking God for the little things that He's done. And if other people see that, that's when we can draw people into this church. But if we go around, oh man, you should have heard what happened today. I'm so mad. They're not going to want to come to church. If they see how we feel when we're in church, if they see how we act, if we're depressed, or if we're complaining, or if we're sad all the time, or if we're mad all the time, or whatever it is, they're not going to want to come to church because they'll think that they already have it better. But if we go around and we get that mindset, oh Lord, thank you for what you give me today. Thank you for letting me wake up today. Thank you for giving me food on my table. Then that's going to carry on into the world. And that's just not going to be something we force ourselves to do anymore. Oh, there's something to talk about. Prayer. I told John before I came up here, this is all the notes I have. And I'll let God do the rest. So if I jump around a little bit, please forgive me. But prayer, ladies and gentlemen, if we wake up every day, 15 minutes early, and we just pray every day, every morning for 15 minutes, I'll tell you what, we're not going to have to force ourselves anymore. We're just going to wake up and we're going to say, oh, it's time to pray. Wednesday night's going to come along and we're going to say, oh, it's 7 o'clock, I need to go to prayer service. Oh, come on, church. Prayer is what's going to help this church grow. I'll tell you what, prayer and fasting, I know we've heard about it all, but I'll tell you what, it works. Prayer and fasting is going to help build this church. It's going to give us a strong foundation to stand on. I told this story to the youth class a couple of months ago, probably. I heard Brother Balance preach about it on a tape I have. And it was a story about these dogs. And these dogs were put into a cage. And about every 3 hours, these experimenters would press a button. And an alarm would sound off. And when that alarm sounded, the cage sent a shock through them. Alright? And these dogs, they would look for an escape. They would try to go here, they would try to go there. But there was no escape for these dogs. They would have to sit there and they would have to feel this pain. But every time they touched the edge of the cage, the shock would get increasingly more painful. And it came to a point to where these dogs, every time they heard this alarm, they would just sit there and endure the pain, endure the suffering, endure the hard times. It came to this point that when they were put in a new cage that didn't even have a shock and that had an open door right in front of them, that when they heard this alarm, they would just sit there. They would sit there and just endure the pain. I didn't want to be like those dogs. When God puts a door in front of us, we need to open it up and we need to walk right through it. We can't be scared of what God's going to do in our lives. We can't be scared of the better route. There's always a better route. I've heard Brother John say before that from start to distance, it's going to be the same. From start to finish, it's going to be the same route. But you can take detours. And sometimes if we get on that wrong detour, we got to find our way back to the straight and narrow path. Because I'll tell you what, that straight and narrow path is going to lead us straight to heaven. The path that God sets before us